Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have Miss Jen. She's going to be getting her hair sewn in, a full sew-in with no leave out, so stay tuned to the end to find out the full results and the process of how I completed this hairstyle. So as you can see, I'm blowing out her hair. There's a little thinning around the edges, so I'm going to do a different braid technique to do the sew-in and make it complete. And I want you guys to watch that as well. It's a new little braiding style that I acquired for people with thinning edges. That way I can get the full sew-in effect and you won't be able to tell. So I know you can't see it here, but stay tuned. I'm going to switch her around in just a second so you can see the braid pattern that I'm using. Alright, so now that I've braided all the braids down, I'm going to be connecting them all in a circular way, so that way it connects each braid around her perimeter and connects all the way to the end as well. This will help for the hair to be sewn down in a way that her hair at the front could be further down the forehead. Usually when they have thinning around the edges, the hair will be sewn further up, so you don't really get that effect of, a shorter forehead look. Whenever it's further up, it makes your forehead look way bigger. So we're gonna try to eliminate that, do this braiding technique. It helped me a lot, and I learned that it's not too much tension on the client's head. It's very light, and they get to have the same look that other people have with a full head of hair. Here we are flipping the tracks. We're not cutting the wefts at the moment. We're gonna do this whole bundle flipping back and forth to make sure that I can get the most thickness I can around the back and the most volume. Oh, and by the way, I don't use the curved needle anymore. I use the straight needle that has a little kind of like a 30-degree angle at the end. So they come with the 3-pack of needles whenever you get the needle and thread for the sew-in bundles. It comes with a big spool of thread, and it comes with like a straight sewing needle, a U-size like shaped curved needle, and then it comes with the straight one with the little leg kicking out. That's how I can describe it. But that's the one I've acquired to use over the years of doing hair. It's a little bit quicker. It doesn't poke your hand as much. The curved ones really poke my hand, and I always be like sore the next day because of the needle. But I like to use the straight and the curve in at the bottom for this. Okay, so now we have started installing the second bundle. So we're going to flip this track one last time before I do the full wraparound over the forehead. Also, pro tip, if you don't cut the weft until you're about this high up, you will have less shedding. Due to cutting the wefts more often, you'll have more shedding at the end of your wefts every time you cut. Here I'm cutting the weft. At this point, I'm beginning to cut the tracks. All right, so we are beginning to wrap around the full perimeter, creating that bang effect, or in other words, the free range to flip left or right, whichever way she would like it to be at the end. And if you don't know, I am putting the tracks pretty close together. She would like as much volume as possible. She doesn't have a big head, but with her head size, we can fit in 2 bundles completely to make it the volume that she would like. Her pack did come with 3 bundles, so we will have an extra bundle for her next style when she comes back. All right, guys, so here's a little trick I have to create less tension on the center of her head where the closure will be. I'm going to be doing like a zigzag crisscross stitching with the thread, so that way when I stitch on the rest of the tracks, it's not necessarily pulling from her scalp or her braids anymore. It's going to be coming from the previous track and the threads that I have threaded through. So like a spider web type of thing, that way I can grip onto this like a netting versus gripping onto her head and causing more tension where there shouldn't be. All right, so now I'm beginning to stitch around this little stitch that I created. We're gonna go around in circular ways. This is gonna create the tracks to be closer together up here at the top, which also gives you a more fuller look. So it benefits you all the way around. All right, so we have reached getting closer to this closure part. And so the trick here is I'm gonna wrap around as close as I can get to the circle is like teeny tiny to where it's about, I don't know, like 1/8 or 1/4 wide. And once it gets up to that point, I'm going to basically stitch across from where I ended off to across the circle, and then begin to pull the string a little tight. It's going to make the circle close up to a point of invisibility. I really was trying to get a better view for you guys on here, but with the camera being on the tripod and my body being in the way, I did the best I could zooming in here on the video so you can kind of see what I did. I'm going to begin pulling that last thread through once the circle gets a little bit smaller, to where it's about, you know, like I said, 1/4 wide. All right, so right here, we are going to start beginning doing the closing of the circle. Just try to look through my fingers. I know it's gonna be a little hard, but it's gonna be coming up here in just a second. As you can see here, you no longer see a circle at the center of her head. It has been closed up by the pulling of the thread, making sure that they are close up together. I'm going to do my knot and cut the weft. I'm stitching down the end of the weft, and voila, we are going to be complete. Y'all, make sure that you comb out the client's hair. You have to make sure that you can see the full volume. That way it's easier to do the trimming or whatever you need to do at the end. But I like to comb out the whole perimeter to get the looser curl look to make the bundles separate. And after that, Miss Jennifer is back. Don't forget to like and subscribe.